Welcome, everyone, to the return of the Hive Witnesses Town Hall. The concept here is to try to bring the witnesses and the community together so they get to know each other a little bit, maybe have some discussion about, yes, it's recorded, discussion about issues that may be going on, and hopefully the community gets a better idea who witnesses are and gets busy and votes for people based on a little bit more than eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So right now, I have on the list of witnesses in attendance Urasol, Lewis, Tech Coder, Guilty, Marky, Schmugel, Boris, Jupe, Solo, and Engine. Is there anybody else in here that I have not added to the list? Just pop a note down in text there and I'll ask you. Or I will add you. I'm speaking really well today. I did a 12-hour day on an event yesterday, so it's going to get interesting. So I'm going to start at the top of the list. You're a soul. Tell us who you
Howdy.
are and what you've been doing.
So I'm in Britain and I've been a witness since pretty much the first year that Steam was running, maybe the year after, I think. And since, running all the way through till now, my current project for Hive is that I run the Eureka social network that's a front end basically for Hive at the moment. It's at ureka.social and it's a modern front end. It's not 100% complete, but getting there. And the purpose behind that is to add new features that we don't have currently on other UIs for Hive. So those will be coming in the next few months. Currently focusing on mechanics for layer 2 communities and expanding the functionality of Hive in general.
All right. And currently, what rank are you on the witnesses?
Uh, 42 by the looks of it.
All right. And Lewis, you're next. I'm going in order that I added them to the list, so there's no. It's kind of random.
Oh, no problem. Hi, I'm Louis88 here from Germany and running the Hive Witness node for roughly 3 years. And what I do on the Hive blockchain is um, writing some stuff about development, but most mainly researching projects, looking for bugs, looking for errors, looking for misconfigurations, and in the past few years, helping secure the system, make it more secure for everyone.
So that is that not a bit of a function of most of the witnesses? Or is that something that's
Uh,
kind of specific?
no, it's a hobby from my side, turned into because I'm with computers since I'm 10 years old, so I'm creating and maintaining websites in my normal business. So dealing with websites, front ends, etc. That's my main daily business. So I'm switching that to the Hive blockchain and their front ends as well. From that point of view, I'm more a security guy looking for stuff and uh, try to break things most of the time. Try to not break things sometimes, but yeah, that's what I do
All right,
mainly. At my current witness position, 32.
32. And Tech Coder.
And
Yep. Hey there, so this is Stakeholder X here. I've been a witness since December 2019, and I'm currently building IOHA, which stands for All-in-One Hive Authentication, that makes it a whole lot easier to integrate 5 or more different Hive login providers to your Hive web app, as well as VSC blocks, which is the block explorer for the VSC layer 2 network. And I'm also working with the VSC team to, to work with the smart contracts stuff as well.
And what's your current ranking level?
26.
26. You're getting up there. And
Yep.
Ishmoogle. Marky has commented he really can't speak right now. So Ishmoogle, you're next.
I'm Schmoogle. I'm from the UK.
Okay.
I've been a witness since about 2021. Mostly, all I do is basically maintain a witness. I don't really do a whole lot on Hive besides make a bit of content here and there.
So
Um,
when you
biggest
say you maintain the witness, does that mean that you're part of a team, or is that
no,
you're just letting it
I just
run?
I just let it run for the most part. I do keep
Mm-hmm.
it up to date quite often though.
Okay.
Um, my main unique feature of my witness is that it's actually run from my home on my own ISP network. Well, not my own ISP network, but like I'm not in a data center or anything like that.
Right. So you're not necessarily advocating for a lot of votes at this stage if you're basically just maintaining.
And not really. I'm just like
You're kind of helping to
coasting
keep
along, I
it
guess.
decentralized.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well that makes sense. All right, Boris, you're up. Oh, I dropped into PYPT mode
Hello.
there. Hello, Boris. Go ahead.
Hi. I've been running a witness since last year, and like Schmoogle, I've been self-hosting the hardware. Um, this was like what I wanted to do for a few years, so I was very happy to finally get around to it. I'm interested in decentralization of the infrastructure and also of the governance. So I'm doing my little bits to help with that. I've been working with the Peak Open team on some projects. I created Hive Open Stats, which provides statistics for Hive, and Hive Open Polls, which provides an open protocol that all front ends and apps on Hive can implement to add polls. So like open apps and protocols and features like that are my interest.
Okay. And what rank are you at the moment?
I'm around 100, 100.
So you haven't been a witness very long, or you just haven't got known?
I haven't been a witness that long, and I'm not really actively going around and kind of advocating.
Just sort of doing your thing.
You can say that.
Okay. Thanks, Boris. It's Jupe. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He hasn't responded. He or she hasn't responded, so maybe that's not a correct pronunciation. Actually, I don't see him in the chat any longer. That would explain it as well. In that case, Solo.
Hey y'all, my name is Solo. I am a author on Hive. More recently, became a heavy curator on Hive as well. About 8 or 9 months ago, I started my own witness node. I am self-hosted in Central Virginia, and I found myself having really good uptime with my system, even when the power goes out around me. I have a solar array that I utilize to keep my witness running. And many times when the power is out, the internet still runs in my area. So I find myself, even when power is out around me, I'm still producing blocks. So I hope one day, if there's ever some kind of a big outage, I guess I shouldn't say I hope for it, but if there is any kind of big outage, I hope my witness stays up and can help out where others might have fallen offline.
So Lewis has said solar witness. Nice. Do you have power storage as well?
Yeah, I sure do. I have a large battery array. It's about 45 kilowatts, and it's more than enough to keep my little mini PC going.
So you may be, if you know, if anything really went upside down in the world, you may be the last witness standing.
I really hope that never happens, but I think I'm prepared for the opportunity to really kick in if I need to.
It certainly sounds like it. Very nice. Engine.
That's awesome. Start calling you solar miner instead of solo. Yeah. Ingenuity, engine, witty, the crypto pimp, Shaolin, depending on what circle you found me in or what circle we run around in. I've been a witness quite a while, off and on, mostly on. Not quite as long as, say, Marky or Guilty or a couple other people in here like Osbit, but I'm not the development type like those three I just mentioned. I'm more of what's called a social witness. In fact, I may have even coined the term. Really big on community, helped many communities, started a few of my own, got a few tokens out there, heavy curator. I just love the whole get together and talk for a little bit aspect of it all. That's kind of what brought me to the legacy chain was the community aspect. I saw people commenting here and there, and I was like, oh, I can make some more friends. Let's do that. But I'm here for the long haul. I'm not entirely sure on my rank. It's been kind of fidgeting here and there, somewhere in the low 80s. My backup is somewhere in the mid 70s. Pollination, which is a small curation effort I've been trying to get up and running. But yeah, I see Hive going for the long run. That's what I'm here for, to make sure it keeps going. Been teaching my children about it, and hopefully they get to teach their children about it.
So I'm kind of curious how uh, your backup can have a higher ranking than you do.
Your guess is as good as mine. They probably got a vote. I didn't. Maybe they like that they're curating different things. It's mainly for smaller payouts and that kind of thing. I think are good posts. We've got this server set up, and we've got about a dozen different curators that run around, and if it's under like one hive or something, we try to bump it, and maybe somebody saw it and was like, "Hey, yeah, that's good for the ecosystem. We'll give them a vote." Thankful for that.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
And speaking of Eco Instant, you're up.
I'm up. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
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 Is that
Okay,
your
there were
is that your
questions.
total
I
comment?
forgot all the questions. Yeah, I run a team witness with some friends. You might think of me as the face of the Synergy Witness. We're rank 55. We started this year and we made a lot of friends. We're building different tools. Two of the team members focus mostly on the Splinterlands community. They've made some essential security tools to keep your Splinterlands assets protected. And me and GM, we've made a lot of Hive tools. We're switching over some domains, but we recently released Hive Micro. And so we're excited about that. We're building stuff, Legos, and we love Hive. We're builders.
All right. So next would
Did
be
I miss a question?
nope.
Oh yeah,
You're covered. Oh,
we're
you
ranked
want
55.
there you go. And Osbit, he was here. Is he still here? There he is, Osbit Bang. Just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do as a witness. Osbit Bank?
He's still muted.
I see that. Are you gonna unmute or you? Oh, he can't talk at the moment. Okay, fair
I'll
enough.
talk right now. Okay.
Truck Pro, was that the pronunciation on that one? Is he in the channel? Truck Pro Lock. If you're speaking, you're muted.
Trockpole clock.
Oh, Truck Pro Clock. Okay.
Tick tock. Drop pro clock.
You gonna unmute and tell us a little bit about yourself, or you're gonna stay in the shadows. That's my space, by the way. I'm not hearing any response. Not seeing any response. Nothing in the text. All right, Detlef. I know you can speak.
A little bit. Good evening. Is everybody happy on a beer?
I haven't had any in a long time. Ship it over.
Okay. Witness wise, I'm happy you reached 49. Love to grow a little bit. I do this for the long run to support Hive not only on stage or on other activities, but as well as running a witness node. If there are any questions, feel free to ask.
All right. So that is my list. And if I've missed anybody, speak up now. If not, we've covered the witnesses that are in attendance that are willing to speak or able to speak. So I guess one of the first questions I'm going to ask, because this is one of the reasons that people have asked for the witness chat, is that they don't necessarily understand what a witness is and why they should vote for them. Does any of the witnesses want to tackle giving a response on that? Oh, you're a witness, Bookerman?
That is correct. We do have the REST org online witness going. We're a witness on Hive and also Hive Engine.
Okay, but we're talking mainly on Hive. So tell
Yep.
us a
Yeah, I was
little.
just mentioning that too.
Yeah, tell us a little about what you do on the Hive as a Hive witness.
So we've been a Hive witness for over 2 years now. We've had our witness node up and running. Currently, we actually had to do a little reset on our witness node. We were having some issues with some new upgrades that happened. So we were dealing with that actually this morning. That's why I was a little bit late. I was like, oh, we better get this figured out before I hop into a witness chat. But yeah, we are a little bit of a lower witness. I want to say we're in the 70s. But we, obviously every witness, the backups, we check blocks to keep everything running. We've been paying for our witness server out of pocket, and we will continue to do so to keep everything nice and decentralized.
All right. So Marky has dropped a little bit of text in here, and since we're recording, I will read that out. Marky says, I mostly do Hive Watcher's job for them. I maintain 5 geographical redundant witness nodes, one on a mini PC N100 16 gig, I assume that's gigabytes. Rest are on overpowered machines. I dev a lot of tools mostly used to do anti-abuse or keep an eye on what's going on. I also run burn posts that burn 10 to 20K of Hive per month. Witness number 14, and usually one of the first to have a node up during patches and hard forks. And Eco has said that he would tackle the question, what is a Hive witness and what do they do?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky question. And so Marky's answer, we can start with that. Now, there's two different tiers of witnesses, and that's top 20 or 21, which Marky is, you can see is geographically redundant. These top witnesses are always, we'll say, at the signing table. So when we say that the job of a witness is to sign the blocks, know that a top 20 or 21 witness is always at the table. Whereas the rest of us are rotated in and out. We do our best to sign the blocks when it's our turn, and we get several blocks a day depending on our rank. But the job of a witness is to sign those blocks. That's the minimum. I mean, if you're not doing that, you're not being a witness. The rest of the stuff that we all talk about, myself included, and even Marky, like the other stuff, that's I mean, that's not what a witness does unless you kind of think of it as like that's marketing, right? So like you would want to vote for witnesses that do the minimum of what a witness does, which is keep the blocks being signed, keep the uptime for the blockchain, and do other things, extracurricular activities, which maybe aren't directly involved with being a witness, but we can go into that, like um, providing API nodes or building tools or monitoring. Marky does a lot of work with the reward pool. And but that's different than some other witness might do some other thing in addition to signing the blocks. And that would be like their branding. Did that make sense? Was I coherent?
Yeah, that was a good explanation, man.
Yep, fine. Might be a good one.
Stupid things. Did we lose Shadows? Are you there? Shadows
It
gone.
kind of helps if I have my mic on.
Oh, okay. It's like, did she drop?
I turned my mic off for a moment because I didn't want feedback in on what Eco was saying. I guess I should leave it open and then pay attention. All right. So yes, your explanation did make sense. And if anybody saw, I dropped a note in there that if anybody has a question, go ahead and drop your question into the text and start it with the question in capitals so I can spot it. So we've got the idea of how many what witnesses do. Everybody has 30 votes. How important would you say that they use those 30 votes? Anybody can pop their mic open and respond to that. Um, I noticed DeHavy is having issues with sound, and it would be because he's muted. They're deafened.
I can answer the question
Go ahead.
if you like.
Go ahead, Urasol.
So the question of why you should use your 30 votes, I think it comes down to what you want to see Hive turn into and how you want things to run. In addition to producing blocks, the witnesses receive overall 10% of the inflation from Hive. So they basically, especially the top 20 witnesses, earn a lot of money and have a lot of power on the network. So they not only can they shape the future of the chain by choosing to accept or reject hard forks, which basically means a change to the rules of how Hive works, but they can also shape the narrative and conversations and decide to some extent the visibility of posts and who gets rewarded more than the average user can. So understanding the mindset and goals of each of the witnesses is important if you want to have a say in the governance of the chain and decide who to vote for. I don't think there's a reason to use all your votes unless you just happen to know that there's that many people you personally align with and want to support.
And I've seen the question asked, why should we vote for you? Who would like to put a pitch up for a vote? Guilty as
Well, I can
come.
give you many reasons why you should vote for the Wrestling Organization Online Witness. Not only will it help us climb the ladder, the witness ladder per se, but one of the big reasons to support any witness is really learn more about them, learn more about the team behind them, what their morals are, how they view blockchain, what they're looking to build on chain and through the community. And I think that should really determine how those votes are used. Again, it's just learning about the team, learning about the people involved, and just interacting with more people in the community to actually make an informed decision.
And that segues well with what Guilty has put in the text, which is use your votes. When you become a Hive member, you become a stakeholder and part of Hive governance and ownership. Does anybody else want to put a pitch up for voting?
I would like to just add something on that
Go ahead.
because, yeah, you have 30 votes. That's fine. You choose every 30 votes, but after 1 year, if you make no governance decisions, that's maybe revoking your um, decisions because you need to actively. So basically, what I do: vote today for every 30, wait 1 year, all the 30 are gone because I don't make any governance decision in the 1 year. So everyone should check their witness votes because sometimes also a witness will fall off, get disabled, and you still vote for them. So that's basically then an invalid vote.
So I understand that votes age out. What is how does that function? How does that aging out work?
Sorry again.
I understand that there's a aging out on votes.
Yeah, one
The
year.
vote decay.
So if I put a vote on somebody today, how do I renew that?
Oh, just make a governance decision is basically voting for a proposal or voting for a witness. That
Okay.
refreshes your voting decisions in governance.
So that signals the chain that I'm paying attention, I'm doing something, so all my votes stay in place, but otherwise they would age out.
Yeah, 100% correct. Because in the earlier days, people voted for the witnesses and they stayed for years. After the hard fork and some changes in the hard fork, we had the, what is it called? It's not any valid anymore after 1 year. So you have to keep keep an eye on your governance decisions.
I actually like that, and I want people to be able to understand that.
The vote expiry, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Vote decay. Yeah, sorry, my English is not that main
So
language.
Injun has asked a question to Guilty, and I'm going to give Guilty some time to write out an answer on that. The question is, uh, though value plan sometimes gets a bad rap, I think it's proven to be a valuable source of compensation for various initiatives and in marketing to an extent. I vote your proposals. My question is there anything in the pipeline coming up that we can help support ourselves and decrease the pressure on the value plan's budget? So there won't be an immediate answer to that unless Guilty's already written it. Oh, he has. He says you're in the US, and right now we've got a big wrestling event coming up, which Bookerman can speak to. Otherwise, anything that supports Hive promotion and marketing, even sharing out the X posts that Hive Blocks puts out, helps. And for Luddites like myself, X is Twitter. Bookerman, do you want to speak on the wrestling event?
Yeah, actually, I'm very excited for the upcoming Hive WrestleFest. We actually recently, just this last weekend, we had an event, uh, uh, BakenCon 2025. It was a local comic and anime convention, and we had a great time promoting Hive and also really pushing that local wrestling event, the Hive WrestleFest. We have over 200 families that signed up with name, email, and phone numbers to learn more about coming to the show. We've had great feedback. So I'm very, very excited as using this as not only just like a local push, but the big thing for this that I think is super valuable is again showing people how easy it is to purchase real items with Hive or HBD, how quick and simple and easy that can be, and also getting footage of that, showing footage of people buying items with Hive and HBD, having essentially a commercial for Hive that people will rewatch. You can only watch a TED Talk uh, uh, conversation so many times before you're just done with it, but people will rewatch wrestling shows. So I'm very excited for this. Again, Mother's Day weekend, 2026 is the event that would be Saturday, May 9th.
All right. Marky has commented that he's a big advocate of voting for witnesses that can do the one job that are actually responsible for knowing how to protect the chain, being present, and being technically capable to do the job while being ethically sound. And that comes down to a judgment call for pretty well everybody doing the voting. So one of the reasons to get to know who your witnesses are and to pay attention to what they do. Schmoogle says he's going to make a pitch here for a vote. Vote for me if you want to vote for a highly decentralized node running on my own hardware in my own home with appropriate battery backup and redundancy. My witness has been extremely stable over the past 4 years it's been running. I keep tabs on Hive development where I can, but pretty much that's what I'm offering. All right. I'm just scrolling down through the text here. I haven't seen any other questions popping up. So that gives me the question of what do any of the witnesses see as being issues on the chain right now that they want to see actively resolved? You can come on voice, just unmute, and the first to speak will get the floor. Nobody wants to live dangerously?
I
I
can
think
address
I
that.
think there's a
Go.
big issue with complacency and people not using their votes or people not participating in voting on proposals or witnesses as being users on Hive, whether they're new or have been here for a while. I think things like this, reminding people of how important it is beneficial. So that's a step towards a proper solution.
All right. Anybody else want to take a shot at it?
There is some, I don't know what the right word to use is, disagreement, misunderstanding, from my perspective, between some of the DAP operators and different witnesses at the moment, which maybe isn't so public. Don't really want to get too much into that because it's not even my business technically. But yeah, there's always complaints and disagreements about different things going on. And from my perspective, it seems like a lot of the time it's actually misunderstandings, people not communicating properly, getting angry, and then um, making up their own vision and understanding what's going on without really talking to the other people. So, a social network is much more than just software and money. It's actually people and communication. So, I would like to see more communication happening and more real talking as we're doing here, because I feel like that is far more productive than people making judgments and imagining what's going on.
I want to riff on that because I love what Urasol said there, because I think some of the biggest problems we're facing are communication issues. And a lot of times we assume that everybody just must know because we've said it. I made a post. They must know how I feel. But, even things that over time, we just need to constantly remind ourselves, stay social, communicate with each other, remind ourselves that we're all human beings, I think, especially people that are still around. Um, I think that is a big issue, and we solved some of that. I put a post in here with the swarm of swarms. It's a development update where development groups, including some that are here today, like Ursul, is share with each other what they've been working on. Tech Coder X also participates there, and I know a lot of the participants are using his Yoha, and so we're working together to try to mitigate some of that. But we have shadows. We have a conversation happening right now.
I'm watching it. We'll see, we'll see how that develops. So,
But I agree totally that we should be communicating. I want to thank Shadows Pub. We could all give a little round of applause from our virtual space here, because Shadows, thank you. Welcome back for doing this so we can all talk about it and talk about all the stuff. We appreciate you.
thank you.
Well,
We're all, go ahead.
I, I haven't seen an issue in the past 3 weeks already. We had an event in Aachen and an event in Dortmund, and a big issue we
Cristian,
have in life is
Sayan,
onboarding. Onboarding. It's like
todavía me
Mangao,
explaining.
parece
Mangao, you need to mute,
todo
please.
bien, sí.
Hey, you've got a hot mic. Mangao, you
um,
mute or I'll have to
Oh,
servo
sorry,
mute you.
sorry.
Okay,
gonna repeat
okay.
that.
Go ahead, Lewis.
Basically, I attended on 2 events, and it's very hard to explain what we do, where's the money coming from, etc., for every single normal person. A techie knows a little bit better. Someone also already in crypto understands. how the Hive blockchain works, but that's not the main focus we should onboard. The onboarding should be every single normal person out there, a mom, a dad, maybe some yeah, younger persons. But in the end of the day, it's just way too complicated to explain them. They need to understand how it works, and then last but not least, the onboarding process. It must be way easier, and yeah, we need to work on that. We're on a good way, but we need to further work on that intensively.
Okay. I'm not sure what Guilty is asking. He says, "What do you mean you don't have a founding team? You don't have a foundation? Who's your CEO?" Is that what you're getting hit up with when you go to exchanges? Guilty.
That that one is very easy to explain to the people. We have no CEO. Oh yeah, okay, fine. They don't really are interested. So the people I talk to. But yeah, it's the main focus point. Yeah.
It's rather ironic when you think about the fact that supposedly blockchain is all decentralized, and yet exchanges in particular do not seem to be able to comprehend a chain that actually is decentralized. It just shows how centralized the rest of them are, or a good portion of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 100% true.
Actual support for decentralization is fairly rare, even in blockchain, which is a reflection of the limited imagination of the people generally seem to have, in my opinion.
I tend to agree. Uh, there's a person that he's a little bit involved with blockchain, but he's not really full in. And he and I have argued many a time over the decentralized part of it, and he's finally recognized the fact that uh, Hive is probably about as decentralized as you can get.
Hmm.
Engine has piped up and he
I,
says, "I'm not afraid to speak up for the little people. I'm just like you and you and you and even you. Even if you think I'm not this or that, I know how to get things done. You probably already know that. HBD interest, you're welcome. I bleed red just like you. Why did you come to Hive? And now you're here just like me, helping to strengthen the community." That is Engine's plug for a vote.
I would like to ask the question from a decentralized creative. He asked for the Aachen guys, where the event was held. Have you seen check-in with XYZ? Yeah, I know that a piece of software, and it's rewarding people get onboarded. But explaining that part next to, yeah, you have 5 keys, you just need 3, you need to download Hive keychain, then sign up with a friend, show me your key. It's way too complicated. It must be freaking easier out there.
And Ego has just commented that he would like to say something about onboarding and KPIs. So
Well,
go for
Lewis
it.
just bridged that really good. Yeah, I mean, as somebody, we were talking about value plan. I was reading Marky and Guilty's discussion. They are moving. I've seen the work that Guilty and I think Spirit Search have done on the data dashboards. And I've been a part of it since Guadalajara. And then the middle event in Guatemala was not part of Value Plan, but we continued with check in with and Distriator and some other tools. And then we just did an event in Medellin. And I can confirm what everybody's thinking. It's still not easy enough. It's getting better. There are good tools, but we are really still using kind of a generation old onboarding tools in many ways. And so that's something that's being worked on. More than one person is working on that, and that's called onboarding. But after onboarding, we have retention or inboarding. I mean, even before retention, they have to like, it's not just about the account being created. I think that a lot of work has been done, and there's a number of different programs that try to curate new users, get them in. And what we found out in Guatemala was that it was a lot, it seemed to be a lot more effective in a hub model where you were talking to the same people week after week, and maybe they brought a friend. and it would like kind of organically expand in one location. We were training the employees, we were training the volunteers, we were, especially around commerce. That gave us the why are we all talking about this? Because we want to teach you how to take the HBD because you're working at the bar or whatever.
Hmm.
But people did begin to then, after the third or fourth conversation, it then organically kind of came up that you could post some content in there. World mapping. I know Nina Eats here. It was a big, but world mapping really fit in at a kind of a backpacker hotel. People understood travel blogging, and so, but it is too complicated still. The current agreement space, the Overton window on Hive, deals with this as mainly a DApp issue. And I don't even know what a DApp is anymore, but that each application, each dev team would take that on themselves. They're in charge of their own onboarding, their own inboarding, their own retention. And if they don't do a good enough job of it, I'll give an example. Leo Finance is under some fire or the ways they onboard and maybe the fakeness of some of the onboarding, or maybe that fake people use their onboarding because they're the easiest. Um, they're taking heat for that, and so other people disagree. So it is a complicated space, but there is Overton windows on a lot of these issues where, well, we're definitely not do this, but we don't agree about this middle part, and then all this stuff is definitely good, kind of like.
Hmm. Yeah. For that, for in Guatemala, you have enough time to explain explain everything. Basically, what we do on a conference is just, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. The next guys are in the back. You have not enough time to explain everything. So basically, checking with XYZ is way too complicated and too hard to use and to explain for that short moment of time you have with the user. But yeah, in Guatemala, I saw some pictures and videos, and Nina did a very great job there. Yeah, keep on going.
So Palo Map has made a point, and she's got a good point. I don't see the point of a big vote in introduction post and then zero people desist. She did herself. A lot of people do. They get you know a big vote on that introductory post, and then the next one they put up they get crickets. They don't understand that first one is because they are newbies. And it's almost like you're welcome to the chain. Now you need to do the work. And it's kind of an unspoken thing, and people just don't understand it. So it's really hard, a real challenge to figure out exactly how to get that follow up in place when we're not in a system that is conducive to it. Snook has asked, "Can I talk about that?" Yes, you may.
One of the things with the big boat, my understanding was is that then because now you start with zero or you have enough that you can write a post and do about 5 comments before you run out of RC credits. And if you would take that first vote and once it pays out, you would power it up and that's your start so that you can comment more in that. But there's no little, what's missing is the um how to do that, what to do when you get the payout, your first payout, that this is to help you along the way. So it's great that people are there trying to help the new people with a $10 payout or whatever. And it would help them if they would take that and power it up. But a new person doesn't know that. And that's all I have to say about that.
That's a big challenge in order to get that information to a new person who doesn't know to go to look at a certain spot.
Correct.
Inge has said curation has been segregated. The larger stakes that could really make a difference don't curate like they could. Urasol has dropped a chart in there. He says user activity continues to drop. People have their own subjective understanding of a multi layered system that crosses several big fields in human life. some do productive things to try to solve the problem, and some just blame others, not pointing any fingers. Of course, we wouldn't point fingers because they can't be seen anyways. Um, Roland, Roland P has joined the party, and it's probably good timing because anybody who doesn't know Roland P, well, he's deafened, so he's not even listening. Maybe we could get him done deafened, and then he could talk about Hive Fest coming up.
I just tagged him. Maybe he will respond that.
Yeah. Hopefully he realizes he's deafened himself. He maybe got a call just to see come in or something like that. I'll give him a moment there to respond. I think that the problem with onboarding and getting to new users so that they don't just wander off has been an ongoing problem, and I don't know that anybody's really come up with a solution that works across the whole platform. I think there's been some small isolated solutions. The terminal does an excellent job of assisting new users, but they've got to be guided into the terminal to get them there.
Right now, as a few days ago, I tested MetaMask Snap integration, creating a Hive account with MetaMask and using this to block to write a custom JSON to the blockchain. It's a nice step. It has to be developed further to make it more easier to use. Yeah, but that's one of the right direction for mass adoption. Plus, we need something like the Wax blockchain have, like social login with Google. That's everyone do. They log in Facebook, they're logging in Twitter, they're logging in everywhere, in TikTok with their social account. We need a solution for that.
I think there's probably going to end up being multiple solutions. As long as they get the job done, you know, why not welcome
It must
them?
be
So
safe as well because it's crypto, not your keys, not
exactly,
your wallet. That's it.
exactly. Is there any other issues that anybody feels that we need to actually spend a little bit of time on? Um, FN FNZ command says, why don't you give the newbies more RC credits for the introduction post instead of a high payout? What? There aren't any actual. Well, there are a few RC credits given it when a person signs in, right?
At the beginning, if you create a fresh new account with zero, nothing, just a blank account, you can still do a follow, maybe write a comment as well. I think it's possible. If the post is not that big and not that long because of the size of the block size, it should be working.
So there's the problem. Like I routinely, if I know somebody who's joined or somebody has told me about it, I will delegate some RCs to them and then keep an eye as to whether they're active or not. But why not start them with a base amount of RC credits? Has that been considered by the witnesses, or have they not?
Well, yeah, but then we need to make sure the onboarding is not
Hold
misused,
on.
right?
Hold on one second. Anyone can give RC delegations right now, just like anyone can
No,
give HP delegations. That's not a
that's
witness thing.
That's not what I'm
It's an
talking about,
onboarding.
Eco. I'm talking
Right.
about it being
Okay.
built into the system that when a person signs up, that there's a small amount of RCs there for them to utilize to get going.
Well, there is on a technical level 3 Hive that are burned to make the account
Right.
are literally there. There's a tiny mana pool there. But that type of thing that sounds like such a good idea, Marky says too hard to build into the blockchain. I mean, I don't even know if hard is the right word. The thing is that idea, which sounds kind of good in a certain context, is something that is a lot better when we humans do it because why? I mean, what if I made a new account? Should you give me RCs? I don't need them. I mean, there's just it's an exploit waiting to happen if you automatically do some things. And this is I mean, I think when Steemit automatically delegated a little bit of HP to the accounts, that was abused. That became a vector for attack.
That's true.
So
So
when Steemit, ran their system that way, that was a centralized version of the chain in a sense, and there were problems with that. Now we have a more decentralized system, and really that means that we need better tools to enable each user of Hive to onboard and take responsibility and help people progress if they want to. And monitoring RCs and usages that's part of that. I think we desperately lack tools to empower users to help the chain improve itself.
very true. Evan said, does that make sense to you as to why what sounds like a really good idea could actually end up being a problem? I think part of what we need to do is remember that not everybody in the community understands that these issues can crop up. So when we ask the questions and give answers, they can have a chance at understanding it.
I think
So,
that generally education needs to be improved, and I think the decentralized aspect of the network means that it's easy for people to say, "Oh, it's not my problem. Someone else will fix it," which is normally what happens with centralized systems. And yeah, there's a kind of gap with Hive.
it really means that we have to do a lot of reaching out, and there's not a lot of us that spend a lot of time finding the new people and doing the reach out and saying, here's what you need to do. Consider buying 10 Hive, because it's like $2 right now. uh, I think the last time I looked, it's 20 cents American. That's not a big investment to make in order to be able to operate on the platform.
Oh yeah,
When it comes,
definitely. I would love to every new user, every new real user, take their credit card or something else or cash, I don't know how to handle it, but buying Hive and power it up. That's the way. You building your own decentralized account on the blockchain to empower yourself and interacting with everyone.
So
in
And
my
here's
general,
I don't only be there to just be get upvoted and cash out. No, that's not the way it should be.
here's the counter to that, though, Lewis, and I've run into this because I've helped to onboard some people. And the first thing is that if you've got somebody who is not familiar with crypto, they're looking around and they're going, "How do I do this? How do I add
Yep.
Hive to my platform? To my account? How do I find an exchange? How do I make an exchange work? How do I make the connection between the exchange and my account?" And that is just like rocket science to figure out when you're new.
Yeah, definitely with it. We need directly on ramp to Hive. So I can imagine something like this. There's the Hive keychain. You create your account and put your say, okay, I want to spend $5 and tap my debit card on the backside of my phone and just instantly have my Hive, and then I can just power up. Easy. That's one of the easiest solutions, and yeah,
And I know
that's
one
a
I
of the
dream. Hopefully, it's gonna be true sometimes, but right now it's just dreaming.
yeah, and part of it is the wider world often throws roadblocks up too. I know I tried to use my credit card to send some funds to the exchange that I deal with, and my credit card blocked it immediately because they all have nothing to do with crypto. So I had to
Yep.
just go through
yeah,
my bank account.
I had to change my entire bank account because my bank basically decided that crypto was evil, and they wouldn't allow any exchanges with any crypto projects.
Same. Even Cash App now is doing that. So I was trying to situate a few things on Kraken, and they were not accepting any of my cards. I was getting kind of red.
Too many terrorists on Hive, unfortunately.
Right.
So in some ways, while we're looking at, we need to reach out to people and we need to teach them how to use their Hive account. Um, just the interaction between the wider world and the crypto world is enough to drive some of them away. So we're
Yeah,
losing
if
them
you
to
look at the
that as
psychology,
well.
I think like I have a fair background in marketing now, and don't do that now professionally anymore. But you have to look at the psychology of people and where they're at, and obviously there's a large number of people, so there's many different people's and unique viewpoints. But the common threads in the crypto world nowadays, it used to be originally it was people are going to change the world and free everyone, and then suddenly it was now we're all going to get rich by having pictures of monkeys, and then it gradually devolved into basically everything in crypto is a scam more or less. And so even a great project like Hive, if I try to approach intelligent people with it who would really benefit from it and it solves their problems accurately, they'll often just like even just laugh and just be like, no, that's obviously a scam, and they haven't even looked at it. So I think if you have a social networking profile and you ask someone to come and use it, and oh, it's free, but actually you have to pay, you know, a couple of dollars just to really use it properly. That's too far of a leap for a lot of people. They just kind of assume, well, that's a bit scammy, whether it is or it isn't.
Uh, exactly that. I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, I just came across someone at the conference in Dortmund asked me, "Oh, Hive blockchain, that's a decentralized social network." Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's like Farcaster, and he showed me the X of that, and I didn't spend that much attention to that. But 2 days later, I just came across again on Farcaster. That's more or less the same what we do, like uh, X or in Leo uh, type of front end, and you need to pay in $25 in their token to just get in, as what I see right now. But yeah, we are not alone there out there. So basically, there's another
Miguel,
decentralized social network like we are.
Miguel just says that Farcaster is not decentralized.
I
Is
think
it
it's
not? I don't
federated.
know. I only just made a half an hour research on that and tried to get my account ready, and it's not even posted something there.
I
Just to
used
check it out, what it is and how it works. And
I used it a bit, and from my memory, it's federated like Mastodon, so you don't have like network scope. The whole, if you make a post, it's not accessible to everyone on the network, just a server that you're on, if I remember
okay.
correctly.
And you need to be invited or using your X account, I don't know, to get into the application. That um, it's I mean, maybe we also need to get rid of the free accounts. Hey, here, just sign up. No, please just be ready to spend $3, $1 to just make your account get started. Not the free anymore Hive account creations like tens and 20 and 50 thousands of uh, yeah, sorry to say that, but fake and spam and misused accounts we have. That's something to need to be addressed on. We can't deny that because it's there. It's in the blockchain. We can see that, and that's a
Yeah,
big
really, I'm
problem.
surprised there isn't more abuse. That people could really tank the chain by posting very bad content. Um, but I do know that conversations that I've picked up on with well-known people, for example, Starkers was involved in one not too long ago on X in a space. There are a lot
Hmm.
of fairly well-known people who basically said, "Oh, we didn't even know Hive existed." They knew about Steemit, and they kind of thought that it had died, and they didn't understand that even Hive was a thing, and that's partially due to bad, limited marketing. But their second comment was, "Oh yeah, but it's also not really decentralized because you've got centralization of stake, and those people just control the narrative, and it's not really that much of an improvement on X or Facebook." So I think in combination, these issues of lack of ethics, basically, and transparency of various different forms, rightly or wrongly, these are the things that people complain about, and I think they have to be sold on the project more than they are being sold on it to make the leap. Because I mean, for example, X is not perfect, but it's less censored now than it was. So there's less pressure on people to try and find somewhere that's uncensored, and and they also generally distrust crypto. I think on average.
So they have the
Hmm.
attitude that Hive is controlled by the state.
Oh well,
Are
that's the main argument I hear from people is that you've got centralization of stake, and so yeah, a lot of people have made a lot of noise about that, and rightly or wrongly, they kind of for example, if you've got a system where every new user has access to an equal ability to have a voice, then more likely more people are likely to join than a system that's been running for years, where people that got in early have got more power. Basically, it's not a negative comment on any individual. It's just logic.
Which, yeah, that's going to develop over time, anyways. I see Farcaster marks itself as sufficiently decentralized social network. Now, that's a definition that would be interesting to hear. Uh, Apparently, it's owned by Coinbase, which probably is, oh, we've decided it's sufficient and that's enough.
It's sufficient for them to use that word.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I think we've had
Hey,
a
people.
interesting initial conversation. I want to be mindful of people's times, and it's coming up on the hour, so we'll wrap up. I'm not into doing marathons these days. So if there's any of the witnesses who have closing comments they would like to make, please speak up, and we will take you in turn.
Hey, people. It's background here. Uh, I'm not running a witness, but I'm with the Skate Hive team, and Skate Hive have a witness. Also, I'm working with Mengão. He has a witness. And I just would like to say hi, everybody. Nice to meet you all. And how about the decentralization of Farcaster? If you take a look, Skate Hive is there as well. We are trying to get into Hive ecosystem and also in Farcaster. Uh, it's prepared for, at my scene, Farcaster is prepared to be decentralized, but it's very hard to run a node. It's not like a Hive that it's easy to run a node. So they are like prepared to be decentralized, but all nodes make it so centralized. And there's a bunch of people there. There is a skate community there. We are trying to merge everything in our website. We are also building a new mobile app. Mengão is helping us with that. Me, Rato, Vlad, we are all from Skate Hive team building for Hive mainly and trying to merge in a little bit with Farcaster. So we have a mini app there, and you can log in with your Farcaster account or with your Hive account. And we are preparing a bunch of news for this year. Nice to meet you all.
Okay. Well, maybe at the next witness chat, somebody can come to actually represent the witness. Uh, the next chat will be on the 15th of October. That will be a Wednesday. I'm shifting it down a week away from the 9th of the or the second Tuesday of the month, so that I do not in 3 months repeat the mistake of having a 12-hour event one day and doing the Hive chat the next day. So that's a personal choice on my part.
The 15th of October is the day of starting the Hive Fest in Kuala Lumpur.
Ah, in that case, we will not do a witness town hall that day. Um,
Just mention.
okay, so who's talking?
I don't know.
Somebody maybe didn't realize they had an open mic. Was it Marky? Did you want to say something, Marky? Okay, so we will do it on the 8th of October then, and that month, and I'll do the shift in November. So the 8th of October will be the next witness town hall. Any
Appreciate you, Shanna. Thank you.
You're welcome. And any witnesses want to have the final word? Okay, all is
Well,
quiet.
I-
Hold it. Go
I'll
ahead.
ju- I'll jump in there and say just thanks to all the witnesses that are doing their things. More communication doesn't mean necessarily more complaints. In fact, I found that the complaining is still happening. What we need is more constructive communication. And so thanks for everybody that showed up. And let's keep working together, but also still working on our own thing. because obviously we don't agree on every point and we don't need to, but we should identify the things that are missing and work to add those into our own applications and our own onboarding efforts.
All right. Thank you. And hopefully, the members of the community that are in here today have had a little more understanding of the witnesses, a little bit more understanding of some of how they think. And don't forget to go and check your own account, how many witness votes you've got in, and how many if of those witnesses are actually active and functioning. And maybe they're your choices. Who knows? So until the 8th of October at 12 p.m. Eastern, have a great month. Take care now.